Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video I am going to talk about something that I would see as a major red flag if I noticed it in another person. Now this can be something that happens in person or online, or maybe over the phone. Okay, something like that, communication. And it's between, one person and another, and say there's a woman that she's having difficulty, so she feels like she's has problems with somebody who's like narcissistic or somehow abusive, verbally, emotionally abusive. And so say you're the person she wants to talk to, and she tells her stories to, what's going on in her life. But when, say you have a problem come up and you want to talk to her and tell her about it, she doesn't either. Her response is that she doesn't have time right now to listen to it. And you say, well, that's kind of odd. Okay, the next time it happens, she does the same thing. She doesn't have time to talk about it. And then maybe she'll say, let's say it's over the phone, and the next time she calls you and she tells you her story, and she feels very comfortable telling you her problems. Again, you try. Nope, she doesn't have time. Or they can do more than one thing. This woman, she will say, turn around on you. Say, blame you. You should have known better. You should have this. You should have that. Everything is about what you should have done instead. And why didn't you see it? Don't you know this person is this bad? On and on like that. Well, I would see it as a big red flag and say, yeah, now I see it. Now I get it. That's you. You are the abusive one. That's how. Okay, now when I say you, of course I don't mean you literally. But that can happen over the phone. Somebody you've known for a while, and you're just finally starting to see it. Okay, maybe they were being on their best behavior before, but they never really had time for you, or you never shared with them. But once they started sharing, you started sharing. And like I said, it can be in person and it can be online too. Say you're a member of some group or feed or like a YouTube channel, and you're a person who comments, in the narcissistic abuse survivors community. You joined a lot of them and you comment, and other people do too, or you're in a live stream for it. And this person, whatever it is, they will turn it around on you, blame you. But they're always wanting somebody else's, other people's attention, and to give them all these, supportive responses like you do. Like when you're on the phone, you're supportive. But they're not going to be supportive. It's not about them, so they don't care. You see? That does happen. But I want to say another thing is that some people think that if somebody is quiet and doesn't say anything, they're just listening, that's a bad thing. It can be, but I would say most often not. If they're quiet, but I can't say most often. I'll say, there's a chance it's not, because for some people, listening is caring. Listening is being supportive. They're there for you to tell what you need to tell. You were able to hear me. I didn't realize I had the air conditioner on the wrong way as a defroster. And now I have my mask on, so. But yeah, I was talking about this with, people who are not very supportive, or they're only wanting support for themselves. This can be, like I said, in person, over the phone. That car is way too close to me. In person, over the phone, in a group, online, whatever. And that's a red flag to me. I don't want this person in my life, block, no contact, whatever, to go on and say no. But I think when you're younger, maybe you don't, or maybe you're new to this, younger in this awareness, and the awareness of it, that some people won't notice it, but after time and time again, some people will start to realize this pattern. Now, when I was young, there weren't videos or there wasn't much information out there about this kind of thing at all. People's experiences and their, the knowledge and wisdom they've gained. Whoops. It wasn't. And so I think people now, these days, there's so much out there that they can learn from, to understand. And I think this is one of those things, is that, watch for that kind of red flag when that person only has time for themselves. And they want they want everybody to pay attention to them. And they don't have time for other people. Well, and like I said, they blame the other people, and that's the way to shut them up. Because they don't want to hear any more. They're just like that. That's just part of who they are, to blame the victims. To say it's the victim's fault somehow. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. One other thing I wanted to add, and that was that, now this is very, it's not so clear cut. None of it is, really. But when people take advice from, like, total strangers, are they aware that could be very dangerous? Somebody online, just some stranger, telling them their problems to them, and that stranger gives them advice, like, you need to leave them, go no contact. That can be dangerous. Especially no contact can be very dangerous. That might be when the abuser wants to get even, feels it as an injury, and wants to, do physical harm even. Not just anything else, but also physical harm. So I've never thought that was a good idea to take, advice. I don't give advice myself. Just what people say, even if it's a whole bunch of people say, leave, go no contact. So being supportive is a different thing. Now, and then it also can be, like I said, over the phone, somebody we know, but we do, with somebody we actually know in person, we understand that this is not our counselor, unless it is your counselor. But even if they are a counselor, if they're not your counselor, they're not your counselor. And what they say may be tainted, may have they have their own bent to it. It might be biased. They cannot be totally objective to say what they say. They, as a counselor or a therapist would. So, it goes on from there. But anyway, I wanted to add that part. Now, I'm going to talk to you on the video.